So the season had ended, and I even wanted to do my world team of the season, and this is going to be my world team of the season currently. Maybe the club World Cup can change a few things, but this is currently my world team of the season, my Europe's best exile team of the season. Let's get right into it. At the goalkeeper position, we have Gianluigi Donnarumma, and I mean Donnarumma was absolutely incredible when it came to the big stages. When it comes to the big stages, he was absolutely incredible. You look at what he did in the Champions League. You look at the saves he was making in the Champions League. You look at his impact in Champions League. You look at the fact that he won. He was in League One Team of the Year and Champions League Team of the Year, and obviously he's a front runner for the Yashin Trophy. So at the goalkeeper position is going to be Gianluigi Donnarumma, and at the left back position is going to be Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes at the left back position. We're talking about a brother who was absolutely, we're talking about his effect for PSG and his level of importance. And then you look at what he did. Look at his impact for club and for country. Winning the man of the match in the Nations League final, helping Portugal to go into the Nations League final. Look at what he did. He was absolutely incredible in the Nations League final. Then you look at the fact that he won the Nations League. Look at the fact that he was part of the quadruple winning team. Nuno Mendes was absolutely incredible this season, and you have to just give him his flowers. His defense, and I've said many times, this guy is what you call the complete fullback. He is good attacking wise, getting assists, creating chances, scoring goals. And his work rate, and then he will still come back and defend absolutely incredible well. And his pace is something else. This Nuno Mendes guy is a powerhouse. He is a powerhouse, and he's at the left back position. At the centre back position, the two centre back pairing that I'm going to pair up with. And I've been seeing. So I saw a video whereby he had a different centre back pairing. I don't want to go into that, but this is my centre back pairing. And my centre back pairing is going to be Alessandro Bastoni and Marquinhos. And we're talking about Marquinhos, how incredible that he was. What he did for PSG, leading that defense, stepping up in big moments. His defense was superb this season. He led that PSG team very well. And then Champions League Team of the Year, League One Team of the Year, and all those kinds of stuff. And then of course you have Bastoni, who was absolutely incredible in the Champions League. You look at the second leg he had against Barcelona. Then you look at how incredible Bastoni was. You look at his level of impact in the Serie A, making the Serie A Team of the Year, making the Champions League Team of the Year. He was absolutely incredible, and he is in this position. And of course at the right back position is going to be Achraf Hakimi. Achraf Hakimi has been absolutely incredible this season, and you have to give him his flowers. This brother was superb this season. He was superb, turning up in big moments, helping PSG, scoring in the Champions League final. You look at what he did in the Champions League final. He was absolutely on point. And I'm going to do a double pivot. Back to my midfielders, I'm going to use a formation 4-2-3-1 for my midfielders. And in this midfield pairing, I'm going to have up my defensive midfielder is going to, in my opinion, is going to be Fabian Ruiz. And we're talking about Fabian Ruiz. We're talking about his rate of consistency. The level of consistency that this brother has had. Fabian Ruiz has been absolutely incredible this season. He did what he did in League One. He was great in the Champions League. Won the Champions League, won the League One. He was absolutely incredible, in terms of playmaking, in terms of defense, in terms of also scoring in important moments. Fabian Ruiz this season was absolutely incredible. So he's at my defensive midfield position. At my central midfield position I can either put it in two sides, but I'll put Vitinha at my central midfield position, because Vitinha was absolutely, Vitinha was just on point this season. This guy was so incredible for PSG, was so important for PSG. Some might even argue and say he was PSG's best midfielder. And when you look at what he did, he was just absolutely incredible. He was absolutely superb this season. And when you look at what he did, he was just important for PSG. We're talking about his ability to control the tempo of the game, his composure, the assist as well, that some of the assists that he had, his performance for country, what he just did. What Vitinha has been doing this season has been absolutely incredible. You have to give him his flowers. Arguably, I said he mentioned the best midfielder in the world alongside with Pedro. So he is going to be here in this position. And of course, at my attacking midfielder, normally he doesn't play as an attacking midfielder, but I want to put him here as a number 10 based on the fact that he can play there and all those kinds of stuff. So it's going to be Pedro, because I cannot have a team of the season and not put Pedro. It's not possible. I can't have a team of the season and not put Pedro. He has to be here on this list. Look at what he did this season. And if you look at Pedro's stats this season, he hasn't even been that bad. 7 goals and 10 assists playing as a number 8. Absolutely incredible. Okay, maybe you can say a few games he played as an attacking midfielder, but mostly operated as a central midfielder, and he did what he had to do. He was incredible. We're talking about someone that was like arguably top 3 best players in La Liga. Then you look at what he was incredible in the Champions League, great for Champions League, also great for country. Look at what he did in the Nations League knockout stages. He was superb. When he was on against France, scoring that important goal, and then turning up in the finals and all those kinds of stuff. Pedri was absolutely incredible this season. And you have to give him his flowers, one of the best players of the world currently, and he was just absolutely incredible this season. Now to my attack on the left and on the right. On the left wing is going to be Rafinha, and when you look at Rafinha, he was just on point this season. Was absolutely incredible this season. Rafinha, winning the La Liga Player of the Year, being in La Liga Team of the Year, 18 goals and about 9 or 10 assists in the La Liga. Then you look at his Champions League campaign, Champions League Team of the Year. I also feel he should have won Champions League Player of the Year, in my opinion, because you look at the fact that he was highest goal scorer, highest assister, most chances created in the Champions League, and all those kinds of stuff. He was just absolutely incredible, especially in the knockout stages from the group stage. His consistency was like, Rafinha was the most consistent player in the Champions League, and what he did in the Champions League was absolutely incredible. Rafinha had an impressive season, and his goal scoring, his assists, his level of chance creating, and all those kinds of stuff, and also his performance in big moments. Those performances, turning up in big moments, he was just incredible this season. On the right, obviously, is going to be my star boy, Lamine Yamal, the baby goat. He is going to be on this team of the season. On that right wing, he was just on point this season. Highest La Liga highest assister, turning up in the Champions League. Arguably could have been Champions League best young player, winning the La Liga Young Player of the Year. He was incredible. La Liga highest assist, the most dribbles completed in Europe, all those kinds of stuff. But arguably Barcelona's most consistent player, the best big game player in the world. And then especially even what he did in the Nations League, excluding the final. Look at how incredible that he was also for club and for country. Lamine Yamal was just on point this season, and you have to give him his flowers for what he did this season. He was just absolutely incredible. So, and of course, on the striking position is no other than Ousmane Dembele. I'm going to put him here on the centre forward position for what he did this season. Winning League One best player, League One Team of the Year, League One highest goal scorer, Champions League Player of the Year, Champions League Team of the Year, top 3 highest assists in the Champions League. He was just absolutely incredible in the Champions League. The best player for the team that won the Champions League. What he did this season, he was absolutely incredible. Nothing too much to explain. And this is going to be my world team of the season here.